Now, months ago, we warned you that hospitals, especially ones struggling financially, had an incentive to fudge COVID numbers. Now, why would they do that? For the higher reimbursements they'd get from the government. That's why. And it's not a fringe theory. USA Today fact checkers confirmed that hospitals do get higher federal payouts for patients with COVID. So, in other words, I'll explain it this way: a death caused by a heart attack may be logged as a COVID death if the patient tests positive for the virus. Get it? So the question is, how pervasive could this be, and is it inflating our COVID stats? We may soon get some answers. The Trump administration announced this week that hospitals that do not properly keep track of COVID and influenza patients could lose their Medicare and Medicaid funding. Ouch. Joining me now is Alex Berenson, author of Unreported Truths about COVID-19, and Phil Kirkman, president of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity. Alex, now, is this just paranoia on our part, or is there an incentive to misreport facts, or at least maybe it was the proximate cause, but not the what actual real cause? Because a lot of these local hospitals are cash strapped.
So we're sort of talking about two different issues here, Laura. It's clear that hospitals do get a higher reimbursement for COVID cases. That's been known since March. It's not a secret. They get a 20% bonus. Now, there may be more PPE. These may be more intense cases. So that may make a certain amount of sense, but it does encourage hospitals to code every possible patient they can as a COVID case. Death counts are a different issue, and they're much more complicated, and there's real problems with the way we're counting COVID deaths. And this, as you said, we've sort of known this for months too. I mean, it's crazy to me, and that I wrote about this back in June with the first lockdown, or with the first booklet I wrote, and nothing has changed. And I want to point to a case that I actually tweeted about today that people can go look at and judge for themselves. This is a 29-year-old man who died a couple of months ago, and his obituary was actually written in the New York Times, and in the headline it says he died of the coronavirus. So I thought to myself, wow, that's a really disturbing case. If a healthy 29-year-old can die of the coronavirus, and I asked the medical examiner in the county where he lived if it was an autopsy performed and what were the results, and they reported back to me today that he had actually his death had actually